Right. Hello. It's Kimo Dameshi. We're going to be drawing figures, only for about an hour before I have to go to work. But this is what we've done so far. We've got just some observational ones. These are from references for day one. Then I tried to do one without any references from my imagination. And then another one from my imagination, but maybe a bit more painted. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird way of painting. Started with big blobby brushes and then carving out with an eraser, so a bit different to what I'm used to, but kind of interesting. So we're gonna just keep our layers nice and organized. Name this one Day 4. And then who knows what we'll draw. Oh, some kind of a figure. I think again I'm probably gonna draw from my imagination. Look, what's this guy doing? I don't know, it's kind of a weird pose, isn't it? Oh, you have to forgive the yawns. I like the idea that maybe this guy's a cowboy. Something like that. Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Good, good.
That's.
Very.
You have to excuse me because I'm gonna be replying to chat for some of these.
That is totally okay.
So if I just randomly start answering a question that you never
I didn't
asked.
ask. That's okay.
Good morning. No, I don't. I don't always start with a stick figure. Sometimes I just sort of. Oh God, I'm tired. Sometimes I just sort of draw the shapes that I would expect to see. Sometimes I start with like an armature. Sometimes the armature is much more, 3D, like a construction. And then other times the armature is like a little sticky stick man. The Discord call. Yeah, sorry, it was a bit loud, wasn't it? When I called you, the Discord call was apparently really loud on stream.
Oh.
So, yeah, gotta watch out for that.
We should have the soundboard where we do the random Discord notification every now and again to trick everyone.
That might be very, very mean.
I'm hoping that when we leave it long enough, that people forget about it, and then I can start using it again.
You reckon?
Yeah, and then everyone will be like, "Oh, we got a message." It was just me all along.
Hello, fish flops. There's a guy. He's. I don't know. I think I preferred the head. Like he's looking at you.
Needed today's key, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'll also be doing mine, but I'll post it this afternoon.
It's a funny thing. I keep sort of switching between which mode of being I wanna be in. You know, do I wanna like construct? Do I wanna draw, paint?
Yeah.
And for the moment, I've just ended up doing them all. What motivates me to art? I just want to make stuff. I think our friend Ernzy Arnbillen did quite a good talk about the differences between internal and external motivations, and how really you need to rely on an internal motivation if you want to see long-term success. So an external motivation might be a good job or peer pressure or something like that. And it might give you pretty good short-term success in the sense that, well, brilliant, now you're paying a joy. It's getting you doing something, but it's not going to keep you doing something. You need some kind of internal motivation, and that's a lot more difficult to drive to explain. It's just sort of like a want or a need to create stuff.
I feel like you can create a habit with an external motivation, which kind of turns that into an internal motivation, I think.
I would say so. Yeah, when we started studying together back in like 2020, it started exactly like that, didn't it? It was peer pressure. It was we would sit down together and sort of force each other to study.
I get a message from you at 6 a.m. like, "Tom, where are you?" So I was like, "So Craig Mullen studies to do." I was like, "Right, okay, I can't just leave him. I just leave him by himself at this early hour."
No, got to do some work, unfortunately. Oh, I really hate this. These aren't appealing shapes. I watched episode 2 of Shogun last night.
Oh?
Have I told you about Shogun?
You have. You told me a little bit about it.
I really like the 1980s mini-series with Richard Chamberlain in. And thus far, I have not been disappointed with the... I can't even remember the company that produces it. the new one on Disney Plus. It's very good. Let's, I don't know, keep making little stick men, I guess. Until I feel like not making stick men.
And there's a lot of good stuff on Disney Plus now. They've had some really good stuff about what's on there.
It's expanded, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shogun's good. What else did I watch? Oh, do you know what? I've been meaning to. I told Gispiere in the Discord that I'd record some sculpting for him. And I still just haven't. It's bad. I should. I really should.
I'm enjoying my constructions.
What sort of? I've seen them. Are they the sort of Tom Fox kind
Yeah.
of constructions? Yeah.
Drawing in a box. I'm enjoying them. And I'm enjoying them because they take a while for each one, because I'm obviously measuring out a perspective grid. But then once I've done that, because I don't have like a human reference next to it, I'm thinking way more the whole time, which is I think something I miss when I study a lot, is thinking. So
Got to use your noggin.
yeah, too much of a shape copier, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but at all.
It's not a bad thing, but
I want to be a shape applier.
it's a different mode of being, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this is. I don't have to know what this is. Little stick figures. Yeah, peer pressure is required. How about tomorrow's stream? I'll get some 3D coat going.
Get some peers to pressure.
That counts for chemo, doesn't it?
Yeah. If it's figure stuff, absolutely.
Move this guy aside.
But if it doesn't, then you can always do like a little sketch, I'm sure. Some other time.
This guy's wearing like a poncho. I swap between, I don't know, wanting to be really quite clean and tidy, and then wanting the freedom to sketch like this. And I can't decide which one I like more. I guess they're useful for different scenarios. They gotta have like the spares on the shoes, don't they? Yeah, I just have one PSD. Yeah, I do draw every morning. I wake up and I tend to do a little drawing, especially now that chemo's on. I did Slack at the end of last month when we started playing Minecraft. And I was doing that every morning instead. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm back drawing now. Let's make some of these a more appropriate size.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be more moderate on the Minecraft server because playing it quite a lot.
Oh, it's so good to play. I was making like I don't know. Were you on it last night? You seen what I've been making?
I was on it. Yeah, I was on it last night. Oh yeah, I saw the little witch's cauldron, like the jacuzzi of.
It is like a cauldron. Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
That's puffy sleeves. Legendary super insane. That's don't know where to put these. Ooh. I drew some of them way too big. Drew a lot of them way too big. Let's just get rid of him, I reckon. Bye bye. Do you have any art goals for this year? Ooh. Yeah, I do actually. I want to actually do a bit more concept design, and I'm getting into oil painting. So that's been going about as well as you would expect, getting into oil painting for the first time to go. It's like a heavy time investment that is tricky to balance.
They've been going well so far, though, from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, I've only done 2 of them. I think that's my biggest gripe is how many I've actually done. Because I've been playing Minecraft instead. So, you know.
A worthy sacrifice. Or maybe not.
Like, oil does dry quicker than you might think as well.
I found that it stays gummy for a while, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but
Like my painting that I did, I had my windowsill for like a week. I went to touch it the other day and my finger got stuck to it. It was all gummy.
little bit. Yeah, I think mine are all a bit gummy.
That's okay. And you can varnish them, I think, but I've seen horror videos of people varnishing their paintings. Not really in the don't do that just for studies. It seems like too much of it.
Yeah, I don't think I can be bothered. And I don't want to get into that habit of like caring too much about.
Yeah.
About a study. There's that. There's that. I don't know who this lady is. But there you go. I'm flitting between ladies in dresses and cowboys. The only 2 genders there are.
Cowboys.
Cowboys and ladies in like 19th century dresses, yeah. You gotta pick one. You have gouache sitting under your bed, yeah. Use some gouache, play around with gouache.
Gouache is tough, or like I said, kind of any other watercolor ones I've always found tough because the layering. You have to really be mindful.
Let's do a bigger figure up here.
I keep giving my little drawings like big protruding bellies, but I think it's kind of fun. So I'm gonna continue to do it.
I have a tendency to make my drawings a bit large, which is it's fine.
I think it's more. I think it more resembles the average person than studying, people with washboard abs and women with a large chest.
Yeah, I
Doing like
agree.
a seductive pose. Like I'd rather just draw like the average person.
Yeah, I think when it comes to mannequins, the problem that you might run into with it making the mannequin too bulky is that, at least when I was doing it, I was sort of, the reason that the mannequins were getting so bulky is because I was imagining them as having fat and almost like clothes on top and everything, right?
Yeah.
But you sort of want a thinner mannequin so that you can add that stuff on purposefully
Yeah.
after the fact, yeah. He says as he draws like a gnome with a really big stomach. It's okay, it's fine. Maybe he's like a gnome
Nomad.
cowboy.
Nomad.
I don't know. He's just got a hand on a hip at the moment. It's very sort of
Very sassy gnome.
fashionista gnome. Yeah, it's like he's going down a runway, which is amusing.
Maybe he is. Maybe you can design some like flamboyant gnome.
It would have to be like mushroom couture. Yeah.
It was Paris Fashion Week the other week, wasn't it? Can't remember. I saw it.
Was it? Wasn't it London
I think.
Fashion Week?
Do all the fashion weeks coincide? I'm not really sure how that works.
Oh, that wouldn't be very good. Everyone would have jet lag, wouldn't they?
True. More that fashion.
This is a beautiful fishtail fungi dress that this gnome is rocking. We need probably a smaller head. Longer neck. And then something. What other kind of mushrooms are there?
Like the
Portobello, those big ones.
yeah. There's those really like tall, pointy ones as well, isn't there?
Tall, pointy ones.
Yeah. And then there's one that's called like I think it's like a shepherd's beard. I don't know if it's a mushroom, it's more of a fungi. So it's like a white beard. It grows on like logs.
Okay, well, I'm halfway through this stream. I'm on till 7, and then I'm gonna take my fiance to work. So how about we finish up this guy, and then we paint a mushroom for 20 minutes.
I regret my decisions because I was looking for that bearded mushroom and I typed in beard fungi and
Ooh.
it gave me some horrible results.
That sounds pretty horrid.
I regret my decisions. Honestly,
Right, let's get rid of this stomach. I don't know anything about fashion or textiles or clothing at all, other than like the Instagram reels that sometimes pop up of people making their own clothes.
I wish I did that sometimes. I know Hannah does it.
Make your own clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, would it cut down on? It feels like it would be more expensive. Depends what kind of
It's
clothes
not too
you
bad actually.
buy, wouldn't it?
I think the time investment's probably your biggest investment, and getting good enough to have the skill to do it as well. But I don't know. I've seen materials can be expensive, but like you can buy quite a lot, not too much. At least last time I was in like a textile store, I don't remember it being too expensive.
I feel like the hat isn't giving would be the term. Or that's something small and understated. Or maybe something even bigger. I like these. Is it an Elizabeth mushroom that looks a bit like this?
May well be.
Oh yeah. That's good. More expensive. Fabric is really pricey.
Oh, it is?
According to Jake, maybe
No.
in America.
Might well be here as well.
We just get the cotton mills started up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Get
time like about 150 years ago.
Victorian England.
Yeah.
Get the children in there, sweeping the machines or whatever. I think it's a universal British experience that you've been to a cotton mill on a school trip.
Yeah. And then you looked at the machines and were told
You'd
these are
be
really
under
good.
there, mate.
You'd be under there.
Yeah. If you were a kid in the Victorian times, you'd be right under there.
And then you'd go to like one of those. It'd be like a school. It'd be like an old like.
With like chalk, they're like slates.
Yeah.
That you could
And
draw.
then like the teachers or like the acting teachers, because they wanted to show you how mean teachers were, that like pretend to be mean, and punish you or something. Ever do the thing where you had like there's like wooden dumbbells that are like 2 kilograms or something, but you hold them at arm's length.
In the abstract, this just sounds like you were, I don't know, abused by random strangers. You know.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's why those reenactors worked there, so they could do that.
So
to
that they
kids.
could annoy children.
Yeah.
Probably. I like these.
But it was Ironbridge. Remember? Was it Ironbridge that you went to? Ironbridge was great.
No.
I made a brick in Ironbridge.
Wasn't
because,
Ironbridge. It was Downbank Mill or something? Something like that.
Oh, I think that's one I frequented, unfortunately. Actually, the best thing about Ironbridge was I remember buying like fresh bread from the bakery, and it was warm and eating it on the bus on the way home. Lovely.
The product of all those Victorian orphans come to fruition.
Oh, to be a Victorian kid. It's wonderful. It's fresh bread all the time.
Yeah, and if you like scraped your knee, they'd put leeches on it. Yeah.
And to be fair, I can get fresh bread all the time now.
Right.
So maybe I don't have to be a little Victorian boy sweeping chimneys or whatever.
I think you are a little Victorian boy. You know.
Deep down, at heart.
I think that's your spirit animal. Yeah. Victorian orphan.
Victorian orphan. Yeah, maybe. It's like a calling, you know.
Like the sea
That's what
calls
motivates me
to
to-
calls to sailors. Chimneys call to you.
When I walk to work, I can like hear them whistling my name, you know, as the wind blows over. Kind of poetic in a way.
They're after you. They're after you. I don't. This is such a weird. Do you know what? I feel like the face shouldn't even be visible. I feel like it should have like a mushroomy visor. There you go. Whatever. That is my 6 a.m. shower thought for today. Is what if there was a mushroom on a runway? Or a series of mushrooms.
Now, that'd be quite a good fashion show. You got the one fashion mushroom with a cowboy, lady in a big dress, someone with a rifle. I'd go and see that. If fashion shows were like that, I'd probably go and see it.
You'd be more up for going and watching them.
Yeah.
That's
I was since I got my new bike, I was looking at what actually is in the vicinity that I can go and do.
That's now within your
That's
extended
now
range.
within my reach, yeah.
That's smart.
And there is a British military and air force museum, like not that far, like a half an hour cycle from my house, which I didn't know was there.
Oh yeah.
So I am gonna go there probably at some point, maybe next weekend. And there's some really cool tanks and helicopters. And they have a warehouse.
This is
or
in
like a
Newcastle.
hangar. Yeah, this is like 10 minutes from my home. Yeah, and it's like
Hold on, surely this was always within your range.
it was, but it's quite a bit of a walk. I think it's like an hour and a half walk.
Oh my god. Sounds fun.
But now it's the North East Land Sea and Air Museum. Yeah, and there's like jets and everything. Let me send you it.
We love a good jet.
But there's like a hangar with like 20 jets in it. And then they've got like normal airplanes, just like passenger airplanes as well. And this cool helicopter, which I think looks kind of fun.
You just sent me
Yeah.
that. That's a very fun little helicopter, isn't it?
Yeah, and they also have some little. Maybe this is my calling coming back. But they have these little like Victorian streets as well, which you can walk around.
Oh my god. I'd like to. Sounds good.
Maybe post Victoria.
I did make a joke about his bike looking a bit like a penny farthing. It's like an inverse penny farthing though. The wheels are like incredibly small.
Yeah, they are only 16 inches.
Which is as big as like a 16-inch ruler, isn't it?
Or like a 16-inch in diameter plate.
God.
But they are tiny. But it's great because I live quite high up in my apartment. It's like 4 stories up with no elevator. I can just fold it up, carry it up the stairs, and it's kind of heavy, but not heavy enough that I couldn't carry it up, like just to get up to my apartment. And then, but it does look a bit cartoonish. But I don't mind that.
I need an image of a mushroom to paint. I think I have one already. That's not a mushroom, that's a snail. Yeah. How much? I've got 15 minutes to paint a mushroom. If I can find one. Should I just Google mushroom? Mushroom. Any of these will do, but none of them are particularly interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like a 2.5 hour walk, but it's half an hour cycle. Wonderful.
Bonk. chunk. Right, we've got a sort of speed run this.
This fun guy.
If you can hear any noise, it's me furiously painting. Destroying my Wacom nib.
You know what? I went through, and I think I've said this before. I went through the entirety university
On one nib?
on one
Well,
nib.
people in the Discord the other day
And now.
were saying that their nibs wore down really quick.
Well, yeah, well now, I actually wonder, this is a big nib conspiracy, but I wonder if they've made them softer because now at work I go through about one every 2 weeks.
I think they must have, because I have not changed my nib in 5 or 6 years. Been using the same darn nib.
I'm gonna dig out some of my old nibs and put them on my pen and see how long they last because I am very sure they've made them softer.
I think so.
Ah, big conspiracy against big nib,
Big,
like big
Big-
pharma.
big nib keeping you down. Big Farmer, Jesus, does he have like giant cows and stuff?
Yeah, he does. Yes, the red one of those bikes. I have.
Penny farthing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, we got 14 minutes, gang.
Maybe I'm just drawing too hard now. You know.
I do think it's
Maybe
a
I care too
conspiracy.
much.
No, I do think Big Nib is the.
Yeah, because I remember going through like 3 or 4 years without changing my nib, and now regularly changing nibs.
Which I don't get. Like, why does the nib have to be soft enough? But I guess it doesn't. They've made it soft enough.
Yeah, if they could make it, well, it has to be, I guess, softer than the surface of the Wacom where you'd scratch the Wacom, wouldn't you?
True. One has to be softer than the other. I hadn't considered that.
But luckily, I mean, like, your Wacom comes with like, there's like 5 of those noble nibs and like 5 of those like grey felt ones, don't they? Which actually sometimes I quite like.
I don't think I've ever used a felt nib.
They're quite fun to use, I think. There's definitely a very different feel. It's so different. I change my pressure settings when I use it.
Let's see.
They just want to make you spend more money on nibs. Yeah. That's true. I think it's just big nib.
Big nib. It's not meant to be yellow. Look, we're painting. Look, Ma, I'm painting. Oh, my background isn't even white, it's mid-grey. Plonk, plonk, plonk. I've not been stopping to read chat quite as much as I'd like. We out here shrooming.
Indeed. 6 a.m. Shroom Club.
Shroom Club. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna copyright that.
Damn. Okay, I definitely need to do more of these super extreme perspectives because they get me thinking a hell of a lot more.
Get you using your noggin.
Yeah, the ones that are just like a little bit in perspective are fine. But these ones where it's like super foreshortened and like the feet are like so far away. That gets me thinking more, I think. So I'll be doing that.
I get to go on a nice morning walk in a min.
How lovely. I think how cold is it down there? Where you are?
Reasonably.
It was funny the other day because it was like it was -1 degree on the Friday and it was freezing. And then the next day it was 5 degrees. And I was like, oh my god, it's so much warmer. I won't bother putting like a jumper on because that'd be fine. And I went outside and I was freezing cold still, and I was like, I got way too ambitious with this. Yeah, just because it's 6 degrees warmer, it's still freezing.
I did that the other day. You just had to commit. Did you have time to like turn around and put a coat on?
I had a coat on, but it was like not one that you can button up. It was more of like a jacket, really. And it wasn't offering much protection from the elements, but I don't know how cold it is today. Probably -1,000,000 again. So
I think minus a million is the standard. Sort of.
yeah. I hope we get a bit more sun this year. I don't know how well it was like down there, but last year for us up in Newcastle, summer was maybe 2 weeks long. It was so bad.
It was really, really quite nice and warm down here.
Oh.
Too warm. I think like all of my plants burned.
Oh.
Because there's no shade in my garden at all.
Yeah.
And so, just all of the leaves on all my bonsai trees just fucking, they just crisped up.
Yeah.
And gone. Yeah.
It's a shame.
But that's just the way that the cookie seems to crumble.
Yeah. But I'll probably be back and forwards in Belgium a lot this year, and they have lovely summers now.
They do, yeah.
Because of global warming, so maybe not actually that lovely. But, Hannah was saying that like a lot of people used to go down to Italy for their holidays, like from Belgium, because they wanted like that summer heat, and now they just don't need to go because the heat comes far enough north.
Oh my
they
god.
still get it up to like 40 degrees.
The Italian tourism industry is
Is
buckling under.
Maybe that's happened to Greece.
People just stopped going. It was warm
People
enough
stopped
in their
going.
home
To
country.
be fair, like in the summer, you can't go outside in Greece. You wouldn't visit in the summer because it is insanely hot.
Only when I'm there, mate.
Hey. That's a
Good.
good one.
That I did feel like that was a bit of a corker.
I remember when I was in Austria, FaceTime with my parents. I think were they in Greece? They were on some like really hot place anyway, and they were going around some like castle ruins, or like sandstone ruins. And both their faces were like bright red, and like they were like sweating because it was so hot. Um, and I was on top of like a mountain, and it was like freezing cold. I had like all these layers on, and I FaceTimed them, and they picked up luckily, and it was hilarious. And they were like, "I want to come home. I'm fed up. It's too hot."
Oh man. Yeah, I did use a pattern stamp. A pattern stamp is not a mixer brush. It's actually very, very different, but they work really, really, really well together, like Jake's saying. It's one of the things that I keep trying to get my students to use at the university is a pattern stamp, and I'm gonna have to just try again next year because I don't think it went well. I don't think a lot of people got it. Like they got the tool, like they could use it, but they did I don't think they figured out why it was a useful thing to use, you know. We'll go again.
Round two. Or round four.
Round 4, round 5.
I wish I was one of those people, like there could be, who like walks through nature, and they can just like ID like everything they see on the forest floor, you know.
It doesn't
And then
take you very long.
I feel like maybe the barrier for entry that is actually pretty low.
It's so low. I can't do it with like mushrooms and things that I see on the floor, but I only own like 7 bonsai trees, something like that. And as soon as I started collecting them, it was like that. I went on walks with Megan, and every tree I could identify by name, every single tree, just because I had been like shopping around or watching like a couple of YouTube videos about different trees that I might want to buy. So it's certainly a possibility.
Oh my
Don't let your dreams be dreams, Tom. You start IDing those
I
trees.
started doing plants. Were you ever in the Boy Scouts? Or was it just the Scouts?
No,
Boy Scouts, that's what they called it in like the 80s.
no, no.
Oh,
I
I
was
was in the Scouts.
I had
That's
my own bug club.
wonderful. The Scouts was amazing. But I never really learned to ID plants, so maybe that's a flaw of the Scouts. But I loved chopping wood was wonderful. That was like my favourite activity.
Well, I've done that.
But I felt like I don't need to be in the Scouts to chop wood. Yeah, I could just do it.
We need a reason to chop wood, like a wood fire.
Yeah, I know Hannah's parents have one, so
Yeah,
I'm
my-
hoping one time I can go out.
My parents have one. Although we have a Kindle cracker,
A Kindle cracker.
not like an Amazon Kindle.
That'd be a
What
very
it- what
expensive
it's-
hobby, wouldn't it?
Kindle cracker. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like you slot the log in, and then the it's like there's an axe head on the bottom of the cracker, and so instead of hitting the wood with an axe head, you hit the wood with a piece of with a mallet that knocks it onto the axe head.
I see.
And it's very, very, very good. And it was very expensive. And I got it for my dad for Christmas. And I guess it's the equivalent of like buying your mum a kettle or an ironing board or something because he really wasn't happy with it.
Yeah. You just bought him.
Bought him a
More
thing
work.
to chop wood. Yeah, I thought he'd appreciate it. It's a really nice thing. It looks really ornate as well. It looks it's like cast iron.
Oh yeah. My dad quite likes gifts like that. Like we got him a weed whacker one year for Christmas, and he was out on Christmas Day, like trimming the weeds in the garden because he was so over the moon with it. Probably annoying the neighbours in the process.
Well, that's what I mean.
He loved it.
I
He
thought
likes gifts that like
thought my
that do
dad
that.
would appreciate the Kindle cracker a little bit more, but
Maybe not. Maybe he's not a Kindercracker appreciator by the sounds of it.
no, he's probably one of them weed whacker enthusiasts instead.
Yeah. It's Mother's Day coming up. Actually, I need to think about.
I'll be back on the Merseyside for Mother's Day.
It will be. Oh, I won't be, unfortunately.
You're not going down.
Yeah, I'm going. Surfing this weekend. I think it's this weekend.
Surfing.
Yeah, you can surf in Newcastle. I think the waves are meant to be very good this weekend, but
I've only ever bodyboarded.
I think that's often what, like when I say I'm going surfing, that is what it often turns into very fast because A, we're all crap at it, and B, our arms tire out after like 5 minutes because we've got no upper body strength because we're artists. So
Right.
it's a desperate day. So I think it very quickly turns into bodyboarding, which is equally as fun actually.
It is very fun. Bodyboarding.
It's very fun.
It's all this
yeah.
sort of gubbins. Right, I'm gonna have to stop there. It's 7 o'clock.
7:01.
7:01. I've streamed for an hour. I will stream for longer in future. It's just I have to take my fiance to work.
And I was getting annoying. You can just say that's what it was. It's fine.
Yeah, and I'm sick of this Victorian child
This Victorian Boy Scout.
pestering me. Yeah. Let's just let's get rid of our reference. I think we want to cut off the mushroom as well. Oh, we
You
can't.
give him all my guys this little like Rick and Morty mouth belly button as well. And I'm not gonna
A
stop.
what? Did you just say Rick and Morty mouth belly button?
Do you like the Rick and Morty mouth where like they purse their lips?
Oh, like a number 3.
Yeah. Keep doing that for the belly button. It's very fun at the end of the drawing.
Rick
We'll have
and
slug way
Morty
through.
mouth belly button is the strangest
That's how to
description.
describe it.
A number 3?
Yeah, that's true. I could have just done that.
No, that would be silly. Baden Powell, the guy who formed the Scouts, apparently.
Oh.
Do you know what I really like to do? I like to just sneak in some other colours along edges of things. So, look.
Have you ever tried using the posterize filter afterwards on like a color mode? It gives you some really nice hue jitters. It doesn't affect your values.
What? So I
If you go into-
duplicate the layer and then
If you go
posterize
into
it,
your adjustment layers,
and then
like
posterize.
yeah, and set it to something where it's like you can only just about see like the stepping in the colors. So nothing too severe, but not.
And then set that to like color.
Set it to color and then like lower the opacity until like you're vibing with it.
Oh, I'm vibing with it on max opacity.
On max, yeah. But I do it with a lot of paintings because it just throws like purples in or blues in and stuff like where you wouldn't, where you maybe haven't painted them or you have painted them but you wanna, it pumps them out a bit, you know. It's just nice sometimes.
Top tip.
Top tip, yeah.
Top Tom tip.
There's also the high pass thing as well, which like hardens up all your edges, but
Do you use that rather than find edges? Because I'll use a find edges, but I'll try a high pass.
I think it's in, you have to like flatten all again.
Stylize.
It's in
video.
filter.
Oh, it's actually in the filter gallery.
If you go filter, yeah, it's like filter other, and then high pass, and you set it's like 2 or 3, and then you set that layer to hard light over the top of everything.
I'll go on then.
Give it a whirl. Why
Ooh.
not like
I think because of
it's
the
just all grey and weird.
no, the style that I paint in is so scratchy
It's
that the
not
high pass sharpens like everything.
every brush stroke.
I can always cut back into it, can't I?
Yeah.
Every little scratch that there is. Yeah,
Maybe not. It's good. It's good for some things. I use it for
that's nice. That's sharpened up bits.
just another top tip.
Top tip.
We use 2 top tips for the price of none. Actually,
Oh, very good. Right,
take that one to the bank.
enjoy all 6 of my loyal viewers. It's a good thing I'm stopping now anyway because the sun is coming up through my window.
Like yourself up again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be blinded for the next few hours.